Welcome, welcome to this session on body language psychology. What you will be learning right now will be the difference between you and many other people who claim to be public speakers. Yes, I can say that emphatically. It's going to be the difference between you and many other people who claim to be public speakers. Okay? So some people are public speakers, meanwhile, some are just public talkers. There's a difference. So welcome to this session. I trust you're having a good day. I trust you're having a good day. And I hope you can hear this clearly. You can see me clearly. We're going to have an amazing time learning about body language psychology. Okay, when it comes to public speaking, you'll realize a lot of people make certain common mistakes. So you may have been to some events and you listen to a particular person speak, and just because of the way they come across, you feel connected to them, you feel enthused by their presentation, you feel amazed by their delivery style. But then there's some other guy who comes and delivers wonderful content on PowerPoint, but man, doesn't make any sense to you. You're not connecting, you're not vibing with the person, and you just did not enjoy the presentation. So this is going to show you how to make amazing presentations with body language. Okay? When you understand body language, presentations are going to move smoothly for you. You can easily impress your audience beyond inspiring them. And one thing a lot of people do not realize is you cannot make a good presentation, or you cannot lay a good impression if this is not intact. You can't make a good presentation if you are not getting your body language game well. You can't make a good presentation. Every good speaker, I wrote it here, every good speaker is a great actor. Every good speaker you know is great at acting, is a great actor. Okay? So we'll be breaking all these things down. All of them. Everything here, we'll be breaking them down. Now, first of all, how many of you have tried creating presentations and delivering presentations, and then you get to the stage and you literally freeze, or you forget what to do with certain parts of your body? Like, you've been practicing, you've been doing rehearsals in front of the mirror, you've been doing all sorts of things, getting ready for the day, and here's the D-Day, and you are there, and you've forgotten all of a sudden what to do with your hands. You've forgotten all of a sudden what to do with your head, right? So even as I'm doing this presentation right now, for some people, that may be a challenge. What do I do with my head? How should my head be going? This way or that way? Or, what should I do with my head? Or when you are standing, how do I stand so I don't fall? So many things are going to be running through your mind. Okay? And that's why you are here, to learn how to do it right. To get it right once and for all. Okay? So there are so many common mistakes that we make when it comes to presenting. And those common mistakes can be misinterpreted, or can even be accurately interpreted by people to analyze what is going on in our minds. Now, the difference between you and that other guy, that other lady who is claiming to be a public speaker, is that you know how to present the best way. You know how to make the best presentation without even letting people know how much fear you are wielding inside. You know how to do your presentation and deliver your presentation without projecting your anxiety on your audience. And remember, the people that you are speaking to, they are experts at something. They are experts at something. And what they are experts at is not even what you're thinking. They are experts at reading your own emotion and borrowing it. So it means that if you show them that you are afraid, you are anxious, they will borrow the same emotion and it will start, manifesting in them. And remember, anxiety and fear are two emotions that do not readily coexist with learning. If you want to make your presentations sticky, you want to make your delivery memorable in such a way that when you leave there and after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or even a couple years, you can meet someone who was right in that audience and you say, hey, how are you? What was your take home from that presentation that we had? Okay? What was your take home from the presentation we had? If your learning is not sticky enough, they are not going to remember anything. I mean, if your delivery is not sticky or memorable enough, they are not going to remember so much. So it just will be another presentation. Another, oh, it was nice. The speaker was great. He was shouting. He was amazing. Nice guy. But they don't remember anything. Okay? So we will be looking at some of these things. And remember, when you speak on stage or when you speak virtually, there are certain signals that you may be giving off. Certain signals that you may be sending even if you're not aware. Okay? So let us look at some of these things here. Let us look at them, right? So these are common postural mistakes, common body language mistakes people make when it comes to speaking. Okay, and I'm definitely going to explain to you some of the ways that you can overcome these body language mistakes while I'm going through them. Now, the first one is crossed-armed or crossed legs. Now, usually, and this is why I titled this body language psychology. When you are in a place and you feel threatened or you feel afraid, you are scared, you feel like somebody's going to attack you. Part of what we do as a primitive reflex is to protect our core, protect our tummy region, right? That's the core. This is what I mean right here. Let me show you what I mean. This is what I mean by core. Here, okay? So most of the activities that you will be doing or most of the positions you'll be assuming will be protecting this region this way. So it's either you're doing this or this or this, okay? Either ways, they are not good for you while you are speaking on stage. I used to have this challenge. In fact, almost all the postural mistakes, I used to make them in the past. Okay, I remember when I was in school, my senior secondary school, I was made the chief refectorian, the refectory prefect. And then, we would usually stand in front of the large crowd, the mammoth crowd of students from JSS1 to SS3, that's senior secondary school 3. And, being the refectorian, the chief refectorian, I was meant to be there to instruct them to bow their heads to pray. That was more like the ritual before eating meals. Bow your heads for prayer. And then after that, they eat the food. And when it's time to go, I'll signal again, bow your heads. For the food before us, we thank you, Lord. Amen. For the food we have eaten, we thank you, Lord. Amen. Now, this was a very fantastic opportunity for me to actually manifest my public speaking prowess. But get what? Guess what? I failed woefully, because for the first few weeks I struggled with something, and that is closing up. Why? I was tense. I wasn't used to that atmosphere. I was tense. I was afraid. I was nervous. I'm standing in front of this crowd of over 1,000 people. Wow. So I close up, or sometimes what I do is to fiddle. I just start pulling a few strands of beards on my jaw. So people will be watching me, and I'm literally just this way, right? I'm just this way, put my hands this way, and then I am fiddling. Okay, now my assistant then will always come to me, and then he's like, no, put your hands out, put your hands down. And I thank God that he did that, because he kept bringing me the awareness. Okay, now that's one of the things that we do. Sometimes we don't even know that people are seeing these things. It is signaling something. I am tense, I am afraid, I am not comfortable here. That's exactly what you are saying when you use closed off positions, cross arms and cross legs. And to make it worse, for some people, when you enter a room and then you see a guy who is probably on suits and just crosses his hands and crosses his legs, what he's trying to tell everybody there is, look guys, I have social anxiety. I don't want to engage with anybody. I'm afraid of talking to people. So they close the arms to protect the upper core, and then they close the legs to protect the pelvic region. It's a primitive response that you are not even aware of, or your subconscious mind is taking charge because you're afraid. Next one is fidgeting. Fidgeting. And this pretty much tells us that you are nervous or you lack preparation. You are not adequately prepared for the presentation. Okay? You are not adequately prepared for the presentation. Let me see something here. Okay. So yes, nervousness. When you are always trying to fiddle something, you're trying to fiddle something, or you are picking something, or you're wrinkling your clothes. Some people are very fond of that. You're speaking and then your hand is in your pocket, you are twisting something, or you have a pen and you're playing with the pen, you are fidgeting or you are fiddling something. Okay, that's another postural mistake. It's telling people, hey, look, this guy is not confident, this guy did not prepare for this presentation, he's probably here by mistake, so yes, let's give up on him and sleep. And then you see people, they start pulling out WhatsApp, they start pulling out their devices, right? They are no longer interested. You've bored them to death with your presentation, just because of this body language mistake. Good. The next one is what? Avoiding eye contact. And what does it tell people? Simply, you are being nervous, you are afraid, you are timid, you are not prepared, or you're a fraud, you are dishonest. That's what it's telling people. If someone is talking to you and you're asking them, who took the money in my purse? Who took the money? Kule. Let me leave Kule alone. Let me still call the name. So please, this name is hypothetical. Okay, I'm not addressing this to anybody. So Kule, who took the meat in the port? Kule, who took the money in my bag? And Kule is like, ma, I'm not the one. No, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. You see? Now, avoiding this eye view, this eye field, this field of vision will most likely implicate Kunle, even if he's innocent. So, not being able to look people eyeball to eyeball, to look people directly in the eyes and make certain statements will make it look like you're lying. If you are avoiding the eye field, the visual field, okay? This may not be true in all cases, across all cultures. It's also important to understand body language with context of culture, with cultural context. For example, there are some countries or some cities or some cultures where you Nodding is more like you're disagreeing, and going sideways is more like you're making agreement. I've seen that somewhere. Okay. If you have Indian friends, you know that Indians, they do this a lot. This, and this is not disagreement. An Indian can be saying, "Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I am very grateful. I am very thankful. Thank you." And he's just shaking his head, and you're wondering, is this meant to be like, are you joking? Are you kidding with me? Are you playing around? But that is culture for you. Okay? But they are generally acceptable, you know, body language models. For example, people know when you smile. I mean, it's a universal language. That's an example. Okay? I'm yet to see a country where if you are weeping and rolling on the floor, it's a sign of happiness. So that one is by the way. Now, the next is freeze. Okay, the freeze response. And that is suddenly, remaining in one position. So you are speaking and all of a sudden you glue yourself to one single position. Sometimes it's a shock response. Maybe that you've forgotten what you wanted to say. Okay, so that's one of the body language mistakes that people make. And what does this signify? It signifies fear or shock. The next one is rocking. Now, rocking, maybe as I'm speaking now and I'm going all the way like this. So this is also a primitive response against fear or uncertainty. Okay, you're trying to put yourself at ease, and that's why you're rocking back and forth or sideways. Okay, so it's signaling that you are probably stressed. There's a situation, there's something happening that is stressing you out, and you're just trying to ease off. That's why you are pendulum, Abi. You are behaving like a pendulum. I was looking for another way to put that. Maybe say pendulumizing. I know that doesn't exist, so don't come for me. Okay, so now the next one is fetal position. Fetal position. This is it. FETAL position or hunching. And this is referring to submission or vulnerability. Let me explain what this fetal position implies. So most of the positions that you see some people when they come to speak and then they hunch over, especially when there's a lectern, this thing that's usually on the podium, maybe constructed with wood or glass, and it's there, and they just prefer to hunch over this way, right? For some people, this too adds to it. So they go this way and then they kind of bend over, right? So this is named after the baby in the womb, the fetus, right? Because the baby literally just goes into a U curve this way. So something like this, and they curve. So now, what is that signifying? It signifies that you are in a strange territory and you are afraid or scared. Signals fear, submission, timidity. Okay, so these are postures, body language positions, or body language mistakes that you shouldn't make while speaking. Now, let's go over to this side. Let's go over here. You're going to see what I wrote here. Of course, I said this earlier. A good speaker is a great actor. A good speaker is a great actor. Your role in the stage is to communicate value with your words and with your actions. So it is not just words alone. If you think that speaking is all about using words, just words, you'll be making a mistake. You'll be losing a large chunk of your presentation or of the value you are communicating to your audience to what you are not doing with your body. So now that we know the postural mistakes, the common postural mistakes, now let us get into body language psychology proper. I hope you can see this. I just hope you can. Good, good. Let's go to body language psychology proper. So now, your body speaks more than your mouth. Know this and know peace. Your body speaks more than your mouth does. Okay? Your body speaks more than your mouth does. And these are the domains of body language that you need as a speaker. The domains of body language that you need as a speaker. These are the domains that will make you effective while on stage. Okay? Now, the first domain is your face. What do you do with your face? What are the structures around your face that tell your audience what you are saying? Now, the first thing I would like to say is smile. Number one is smile, and number two is eye contact. Before we go into the others that you're seeing here, smile. So, what kind of smile should you use? What kind of smile should you pull on stage? It is advisable from the beginning, from the moment you step in, whether you're having a virtual interview or you are there in present, in person, or you are doing a presentation anywhere, whether virtually, whether on phone or anywhere. It is best to have some smile on your face all through the presentation. But look at me, it is not this. You can't come, there are some people who try to fake it and it looks so plastic and annoying. You can't come to speak and then you stand on the stage and you're good morning everybody. So today, hello, how are you? Today we're going to be talking about public speaking and the importance of public speaking. Because they've told you to smile, you get tired, you start feeling pains around your cheeks. Okay, so you cannot also come to do a presentation and then you're just, good morning everyone. Today I'll be talking about body language psychology and the importance of smiling. It is very important to maintain smile. Right? I have seen such. I've registered for classes on public speaking, and then the public speaker comes and they're like, good morning everyone. So today we're going to be talking about how to deliver a powerful presentation by so and so method. So what you need to do, ensure that, I'm like, what the heck is this? You're not even smiling. Your audience is not connecting. They are not feeling that atmosphere from you. So please, when you get on stage, smile. So this is enough. You don't even have to show your teeth. This is enough. I'm doing it already. I'm used to it. So as I'm speaking to you, I'm smiling. Okay? So now, the next thing you need to think about is your eyes. I have already done justice to eye contact. I have done justice to eye contact in the previous videos, but this is about you looking your audience in the eye. You can section your audience. If the audience is so big, you can still divide to ensure that you are giving eye contact to small groups. Because if you look in small groups, those people in that small group will think they are the ones you are looking at individually. It enables them to also connect with your speech. Okay, so if you are not so confident with that, if you are not so comfortable with making eye contact, you can look people in the forehead, scan their foreheads. Just assume there's something you put in their forehead that you want to collect with your eyes. Just go. You don't have to, you don't have to make yourself uncomfortable. You can keep doing what you can until you get used to it. The truth of the matter is that most of the time when you get on stage, especially big stages, you will not see people's faces. Get intoxicated with the value you are going to give to them. Believe so much that you have the capacity to change somebody's life, and that is why you are there. Focus on your purpose for the speech. Go ahead and deliver. Now, I've talked about eye contact. If you avoid eye contact, I've already shown you the consequence, what people are going to be thinking about you or about your speech. So, your eyes, what are you doing with your eyes? Now, there are things that a combination, you see, there are many muscles. There are more than 20 muscles that you can find around the head, around the face. There are many muscles. I wouldn't go step by step naming each of them. That one is for anatomists and doctors or physiotherapists or nurses to start discussing. But for you, at least know that these muscles exist and they have a function. They are called muscles of facial expression. Muscles of facial expression. There are muscles here that are responsible for frowning. There are muscles here responsible for making you pull a smile. Somebody says something, and somebody is there, and you're like, somebody is busy bragging about how they have, whatever they've achieved so much in life, and you're just like, these things have meaning. It's not for fancy. You are not doing it just because you want to do it. Your body is collaborating with your mind and your brain and your subconscious memory or subconscious function to execute certain things as body language. It is your body communicating without a sound. Many times, what you are saying in words can be lost because of lack of expression. Now, imagine somebody coming to say, hello everyone, I just want to announce that I got a scholarship. I am so happy. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for tagging me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I'll be traveling to the country, and I'm so happy and excited. You all have done really great. Right? Or thank you all for supporting me, for tagging me, for sending me money for the application process. I am really grateful to you all. If not for all of you, I will not be where I am. I am grateful. I am grateful. Really, I'm very, very grateful. That's not what is expected. It's expected that you are coming to announce something. You are coming to bear good news. You should be excited. Hello guys, I am really grateful. I am so grateful. I woke up the other day and I saw that people were tagging me to this particular post. I eventually applied, and guess what? I got it. I got admitted to Royal University of London on scholarship, 100% scholarship, and I am grateful. I'm grateful. Even for all of you, I wouldn't have been able to do it. You see, these things, these two experiences are very different. Very, very different. Okay, so what you do with your face, you could read the expression on my face and see for yourself. What you do with your face matters. Now, we've talked about this. So watch my face while we go from here down. Happy. Can you see my face? Happy. Can you see what's happening? My brows are going up. My chin is opening up. I'm opening my mouth a bit to express that I am happy. Sad. Did you see these muscles here? Can you see the wrinkle here coming close to show that I am sad? This muscle is called the procerus. The information is not really so necessary for you. It's not really so important for you, but I'll just say it because I want to flex my knowledge of biology, right? So you see how these ones will come and these ones too. Now, That's sad. I'm concerned, I'm worried. You see somebody like this, you should be concerned. Oh, what is wrong? Okay? So if you are sharing stories, ensure that your stories align with your facial expression, align to the emotion in context. Ensure that it aligns. Now, angry. You see, I did this, and not just this. Watch this place. You see that I'll clench my jaw. Most of the time, it's also another mistake that people make that they don't know. It's harming their speech. Now, even without speaking, I had a particular friend of mine who, before we became close, I used to run away from the guy because I thought he was a sadist. This guy will sit down in class and he's just there clenching his teeth. You keep seeing this muscle here, and the muscles are overacting. They are always. I'm like, who is annoying this guy? I couldn't hold it. One day I went to him and I said, bro, why are you always angry? What's happening? Because I thought he was angry with me and every other person. I just don't know. I thought he was angry with everyone, particularly me. So when I asked him, oh, why do you keep making angry faces and all? He was like, that is a habit though. That is not angry, it's just a habit. He doesn't have any emotional attachment to it. He just loves to just chew his mouth, I don't know, or just clench his teeth. I said, no, stop doing that, please. You keep passing the information to people that you're not happy with them. And he understood my message. He understood. Okay? So angry, disgust. This disgust, right? When I said somebody says something, somebody's bragging about the achievement, and you're like, you're disgusted. Or you are expressing, you are talking about something. Yes, let's talk about Lagos. Sometimes if I watch videos, I look beyond just what the video is saying, what the person is saying. I look at their body language. So there was a video trending of a young lady who talked about Lagos State and how the air smells so bad. So you cannot be talking about that kind of thing. And you're like, I went to Lagos on Sunday and, the air was smelling so bad. I wasn't happy. The place was so messed up. The place, no. You go, it's very concerning. It's alarming. I was there and everything was just smelly. You see, everywhere was smelly. It was just so messed up. I felt like puking. I couldn't even eat. I was there for like 2 days. People can interpret this. They can literally smell the atmosphere through your facial expression. That's how your speech should be structured and wired. You must tell the story through your body, not just your words. Now, let's go to the next one. Surprise. Surprise. You're telling a story about how your loved one surprised you on your birthday. And the story shouldn't go like this. I was sitting in my room, I was just reading a few pages of the book I bought recently, and then all of a sudden, I heard a knock at my door. I don't usually get visitors. So I was wondering, oh, who is this? Who is this person knocking at my door at this very strange time of the night? Just for me to open my door and behold, I saw somebody jumped in with trumpet and they were blowing happy birthday song. Somebody else was carrying a very big cake with my name on it. And then I saw my friend walking behind them and she was singing happy birthday song. I was so excited. I was so surprised to have that experience. No, you can't do that. You don't have the legal right to do that. If you do that, you should be arrested. You need to be able to connect your story to the emotion behind the story. So Watch this again. I was sitting in my house on a Sunday evening, and then I was reading a few pages of the book. Someone knocked at my door. I just heard a knock, and I opened the door, and two gentlemen walked in with one had a saxophone and the other one had a cake in his hand. And then my friend was walking. Oh my God, I was so pleased. I was surprised. Like this, oh, I did not expect that anybody would even remember my birthday. I was so excited. You see, in fact, I didn't even demonstrate this one very well. I didn't put the excitement, the surprise. Someone knocked at my door. I was feeling a bit down and I heard a knock at my door. I went to open my door and immediately I opened the door. You see what I did? We'll get to that, but see what I did. This demonstration I made now, see, immediately I grabbed the door handle, I turned it and I opened. As I'm doing the demonstration, I'm connecting this. It is painting a picture in the minds of my audience. Okay? Use imagery. People want pictures and videos. They want images. The job of the mind is to imagine. The greatest AI tool that has ever been created in the world is the human brain. It's natural intelligence, brain intelligence and mind intelligence. The job of the mind is to imagine. So when you create opportunity for the mind to enter into that frame of imagination, you will be doing the same thing as you would if you had a screen projecting the videos. Okay, so you want to use your language to paint the pictures and also use your body to demonstrate so that people can imagine it. So I grabbed the door. I'm continuing the story here. Okay, let me continue the story. I grabbed the door and immediately I turned the door handle and I pulled it open. I saw my friend. We had not met for 6 good years. I was so excited. Can you see what I'm doing here? You can see my face. You can see my hands. You can see the way I'm putting out this excitement and the surprise. You can see this going up. That surprise. Open your eye. Open your eye wide. Okay? So, fear. Fear. Are you afraid? Are you telling a story about something that you experienced that made you afraid? Let's look at me. Let's try. And I want you to try these things. Work on your facial muscles. Exercise your facial muscles. Sometimes just do this, write down all of this. Happy, sad, angry, disgust, surprise, and practice. Do it on camera. Tell you, oh, happy, surprise, sad. Do a picture. I would even want to, that would be the assignment I'll give everyone here. Everyone in the program. This is an assignment I'll be giving you. There will always be a student engagement forum, maybe Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever platform, but I would want to see yours. Do a video of yourself analyzing all these facial expressions. You can add more if you want, but all these ones, happy, sad, disgust, surprise, do that. Record yourself. Shouldn't be more than a minute or two, and then send it. I would want to review your video. I want to see it. Okay. So yes, I will be creating a platform for everyone who is passing through my mentoring, my public speaking mentoring program, so that you can practice along and guide yourselves. That's one thing I'm going to promise to do. Now, let's get on with it. Fear. So I went for an excursion. I went to the conservation park in Abuja. There were animals there, and I wanted to go see some animals, especially wild animals, because it was my first time having a close range with wild animals. So I entered. I'm telling you a story now. I entered the place. It used to be secured and guarded very well with security authorities and some animal care agents, who were around the vicinity. So one of them asked me to come closer. I came closer. He looked away. He was a bit distracted on his device. And while I kept on walking, I passed the border and I entered the first fence before the actual cage where the wild animal was, actually a lion, where the lion was. But something happened. Immediately I passed that first barrier, the gate behind me locked. And that was when I realized that the gate ahead of me was open. And there goes the lion. This was the scariest moment of my life. I literally felt life flash before my eyes. I was scared. I remembered all the people that were owing me. How will I go? And Chinedu has not paid me my money. How will I tell my mother that I went to a park? What will I tell God when I get to heaven? I was scared, and so many things were running through my mind. There was a lion right before me. I only had split seconds to decide whether I was going to run and try and scale the fence, but my goodness, before I could actually say Jack Robinson, this lion did not eat me. I'm just telling a story. Okay, so you could feel something from me in this story I told. You could feel some level of fear from my speech just because of body language and tonality and facial expression. Okay, so you don't want to say something like, I was passing through the tunnel and I was so scared. You know, it was a very dark tunnel, and all of a sudden something scratched my feet. We were walking inside the water at the tunnel. Before we got to that point, there were bats all over the place. And someone had told us that people usually get swallowed up by a strange animal. I wasn't sure of the story, but while we were going, something grabbed my right foot, and I felt it was pulling me. As I'm telling this story, it is not tragic enough. I'm not showing the fear. But how about when I say something like, we were going through the dark tunnel, we got to a point, and someone started telling a story right in that particular place, that this place is a dangerous place to be. That is strange. It has been reported that a strange animal usually appears from the tunnel and grabs people and pulls them into the ground. And right when he said that, I felt a strange force dragging me from my right foot. I couldn't help it. I screamed at the top of my voice. I screamed, Jesus! And all of a sudden I woke up and I realized it wasn't actually a real experience, and I didn't go anywhere. It was just another boring day, and I fell asleep while reading a book. See, something interesting has happened right in this moment. You felt the fear, you felt the energy, you could touch it, you could feel it. Okay, the next one, confused. I was going for a job interview, and how did I get to know about this interview? I was invited. I saw an invitation. I had searched for jobs, searched everywhere. They were not forthcoming. Then all of a sudden I saw an advert on Facebook about a job employment program going on. They were looking for a graphic designer, and they were also looking for someone who can speak English for a translating job and this and that. And I thought to myself, I can do all this. So I decided I was going to go for that, and I knew I was going to get the job. So when I got there, something interesting happened. I went into the hall and I saw thousands of people. I was thrown into confusion. What is happening here? Why am I here? I literally didn't know why people were gathered in such numbers, and it didn't look like a job interview. It looked more like a training. And that is how I realized I've been deceived. It was actually a network marketing program, and they were looking for new members. I thought it was an opportunity to get a job. So what did I do? I grabbed my small bag and put it between my underarm, or underneath my arm, and I moved on with my life. So I just told this story and I introduced that aspect of you being confused. It has to reflect on your face. So this is more like a confused look, right? Or what am I? What's happening here? What's happening here? Some of you already do these things. When it comes to public speaking, what makes many people fail is simply because, or simply that, they think public speaking is different from what they've been doing all their lives. They think public speaking is, creating a facade, creating a mirage of pop star, this, vibe star thing. It's the same thing you've been doing all your life. You just with your friends, and guy, I don't even understand. That guy confused me. You are talking about different things, and those expressions are coming. It is not something that you have to fake. It is something you have to allow to manifest from within. Now, confusion. Next thing is hands. What should you do with your hands? What should you do with your hands? So if you noticed, you would see that since I started teaching, I have been doing a lot with my hands. I've been doing a lot with my hands. Let me reduce this. Let me bring this down a bit. Okay. I've been doing a lot with my hands, and there is an acceptable field for your hand. Okay. There is an acceptable field for your hand gestures. Now, what should you do with your hand? Let me first of all analyze the do nots, things that you shouldn't do. Number one is hands in pocket. Hands in pocket. Number two is poking. Three is palm down. Four is behind back, which I would also call military at ease position. And then fiddling or picking. Now, let me stand and explain this. Okay, I would have to adjust again so that you can see me doing this in standing. Okay, so I'll adjust a bit. So now, good. Now let me stand. Okay. So what shouldn't you do? The first one I said is do not do this. We already know. We already know about this one. Do not put your hands in pockets. Okay? I'll probably have to just stand on my toes so that you see what I'm talking about. Yes. This you know what hands in pocket mean. So you don't want to put hands in pockets while speaking. It's going to give your audience the impression that you probably don't respect them when you just put your hands in your pocket. Okay? You don't also want to go this way. This is the military at ease position, hands behind the back. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. Okay. Now, the next thing that you don't want to do is palm down. So you are speaking and your palms are facing down. These are your palms facing down. Now let me do some experiment with us, and that experiment is simply this. When I go this way and when I'm doing this, right? And when I'm doing this, what gives you more comfort listening to me or watching me while I do this? So let's say this is down and this is up, right? What gives you more comfort watching, this or this? Look at your own palms while you're watching this. Just take a brief moment. Look at your own palm. Look at your hand. Take it up like this and look at it. And take it down like this and look at it. Which one makes you feel more comfortable? Then which one makes you feel more anxious? It's not necessarily that anyone is bad or good, but there is a certain experience you will have. And I want you to drop, put it down somewhere, put it down anywhere you can type or write, so that we'll continue. I'll give you time for that. I'll give you time to answer. So this or this, which one gives you more comfort? Which one makes you more nervous? This or this? Down, up. Okay, down, up. Now, what we are trying to say is you shouldn't be using this while speaking. So if I'm speaking and every time I'm like this, hello everybody. So today I want to about, you know, talk to you about public speaking and, talking about so many other things, but basically how to become a more effective speaker. If I keep showing you this, you're going to get nervous. You're going to get nervous if you keep seeing this, or you feel like I am not confident enough. But just what if I change my style and go this? Okay, remember, there is an acceptable um there is an acceptable range for your hand movement, okay, while you are making hand gestures. Even if you don't know what to do with your hands, you can keep your palm by the side, okay. Allow it to flow freely when you are not talking. But when you start talking, please use your hands to gesticulate, to explain. Allow your hand to connect. Imagine that there's a wire that connects your brain or your mind and your mouth to your hands. So while you are saying stuff, your hands are playing them out. Your hands are acting them. Learn to move your hands. Learn to allow your hands move. This it shouldn't feel like you are carrying a bag of rice with your hand and it's gluing it to your body. No, let your hands move. So when I want to tell stories, you can see the way I open. This is called open palm posture. So let me try and do it. It's a little speech, maybe 1 minute with this, and you see the difference. I was on my way to a mentor's house recently, and when I got there, he shared a very important story that made me realize that was a worthwhile journey. I was glad, really, to have paid attention to him and even to have visited him that day. So, what did he say? He simply said that it is important to prepare for every opportunity even before they come. So, what does this mean for you and I? This simply means that if you don't prepare for opportunities, you may find those opportunities and you mess them up. So you see what I'm doing here? Look at it as against this. I went to visit a mentor of mine and he shared a very fantastic lesson. He said, opportunities you are not prepared for are as good as wasted. He shared a story about somebody who lost over $1 billion deal simply because the investors looked at his LinkedIn profile and knew he wasn't ready for such just by looking at the LinkedIn profile. And that got me thinking, how am I putting out myself? How am I creating the awareness about what I do and leaving track records on the social media space so that in the future, when I would need such support, I can easily show the evidence? Can you see the difference? Did you feel a difference with this and this? Very different. Obviously, up is better than this. Okay? Now, I've shown you what we do in your hands. I've shown you. It's not hard. It's easy. It's easy peasy. Now, the next one is poking. Don't do this. This is very offensive. So when you want to point out things or you want to connect to your audience, you want to, mention some stuff, don't go and do this. Don't do this, No. You want to point somebody, even learn this from today. You want to point someone, don't go like this. Go this way. Go this way. Don't poke or point. Go this way. Okay? So there are people over there. So I want somebody from here to stand up and tell us something. So someone over there was saying something earlier. Instead of this, people find this offensive. The one even doing it is looking as if I want to poke your eyes. Okay? So do not point or poke. Go this way. Okay? Go this way. This is more neutral. This is more respectful. Okay? Just this way. Like a sword. Okay? Now, the next one that you shouldn't do, behind the back. I've already talked about it. I've talked about that one. Fiddling or picking. Picking could be anything. It could even be picking your nose. Every time you are picking your nose. So what I would advise you to do is this. Whenever you you want to know your postural habits, do a video of yourself. This is the most important public speaking secret. The most important. Record yourself speaking. Post it. Record yourself speaking. Watch it. Watch it. Do 3 minutes video of yourself speaking, talking about something you are passionate about. Watch it from beginning to end. Find out what you are doing well, what you are not doing well. Correct on what you are not doing well. Consolidate on what you are doing well. So, by the time you watch the video and you realize, oh, at every interval, I do this. I used to do that before, but now I don't. Even if I did it all through this video, maybe just once or twice, I used to do this because sometimes you want to speak and all of a sudden your nostrils will just start itching inside or outside. To just start itching. You now remember, oh, you want to be picking, right? So, what are you doing that you're not meant to be doing? Your hands. Your hands are not for picking your nose on stage. Sometimes it can be really dicey. Don't crucify yourself. I can tell you this as someone who has practiced speaking for years. But sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes just use style. Use style, and just itch the thing. Just that's why it's good to have a companion, right? So you can have a white handkerchief or whatever, or you can have wipes there, and you pretend that as if you want to wipe sweat, so that you don't use your hands to be picking. Some people find it disgusting as well. So you want to use something like this, and then while you are speaking, you just go hard. Yes, that itch is gone. Nobody knows what you did. You didn't clean sweat. You know what you did. Okay, so very important. Don't use your hand to consistently keep picking your nose or picking whatever, anything, or fiddling your clothes. Just some people when they are speaking, they just find something to be rolling around like bead or whatever. No, don't do that. Now, the next thing I already talked about, open palms. What you should be doing, open palms, demonstrated. I demonstrated that already. Next is stippling fingers. What do I mean by stippling fingers? This can be a sign, a demonstration of confidence. Okay, what do I mean? So when you are speaking and you go this way, it can indicate that you are actually confident. It can also be a show of power or authority. So you are going this way. Okay, so um today I want to talk to you about something that many people struggle with, and that is the ability to express themselves in public. So if you want to begin public speaking, if you want to start getting better with speaking, you must come to one important realization, and that is you need to speak like you and not anyone else. You need to speak like you. And if you are like me, I used to be very shy and timid and afraid to stand in front of people and talk. But because of these three things, I have been able to conquer my fear of public speaking. And I can tell you, I can stand in front of any audience in the world and speak. You see, this thing I have said, you notice how I was interlacing my fingers. Okay? So after a while, you can go diamond. This one is usually used by pastors and politicians. And it can also be a bit cunning sometimes, because when you do this, sometimes people will feel like you're a con person, or you are a manipulator, or you are a motivational speaker. There's usually this stereotype of motivational speakers, but like, what are you trying to do with this? And then there's also some stereotype, some kind of dark stereotype that exists. I won't say that here in my video, that exists with this diamond pose. There's nothing wrong with this. I actually like this, but I wouldn't want to dabble into all that, right? So this kind of gives you stability. This is a pyramid, right? And triangles symbolize stability. So if you are struggling with, finding a place to put your hands and all, you can actually put your hands this way or knit it this way, right? While you are speaking, and then you open your palms and go back. Open your palms, do what you want to do with your hands, explain, gesticulate, and then you come back as a place to put your hands. As against this, if you are, nervous about the whole thing, okay, do not, go and grab the lectern, that wooden whatever. Don't go and grab it. Don't go and put your hands there, and then you hug the thing and you are now rocking back and forth. No, don't do that. Okay, don't do that. I've seen people who do it. It's very dangerous for speaking. It's very dangerous. Don't do that. Okay, so we've talked about thank you for being here to this point. It's a really long one, but thank you. So we've talked about stippling fingers. Now we have counting, gesticulation, power. I'll talk about gesticulation especially, but let's look at counting. Counting. So if you are explaining something, so you can have a speech, you can present a speech. This is one of the ways to actually have a very powerful speech. Numbering your items. Let me just randomly cook up a speech now. Let me cook up a speech quickly. My name is Chijioke. I'm a physiotherapist, a life coach, and a women's health advocate. Over the years, I've helped a lot of people overcome their fear of public speaking, gain more confidence, and also overcome the fear of connecting with people. I never knew that was a thing until I started meeting people who told me they admired the way I would go for conferences and events and I easily connected with people. They wanted to learn to do that the way I did it, or it was a very difficult nut to crack. I remember a friend telling me if only he could be like that, that all his life aspirations have been summarily met. I was shocked because I found it very easy. I shared something with him that made him feel heavily indebted with me. Why? Because he tried it, or he tried the list of things I gave him, and they worked like magic. Tonight, I'll share with you the secrets that turned Emmanuel from a shy young man in the classroom to a human connection model, or a human connection beast. I didn't want to use the word beast. Let me continue my speech. So, number one, remember that networking is never about you. Some people have what we call all about me syndrome. And whenever they meet any new person, they're always thinking in their minds, what do I stand to gain from this person? What can I benefit and what can I take? So they are trying to take, collect, collect, collect. No. If you want to become better at connecting with people, always think, what can I bring to the person's table? What can I contribute to their lives? What can I offer? That way, you will not see networking as stress, but an opportunity to add value. Number two, have a pitch ready. It is not necessarily about cramming your pitch, but know the kind of events that you are attending and the kind of people you are likely to meet there. Have a target for those people. Have a target of who to meet and why. And then when you approach them, you can say something like, hello, I'm Chijioke. I'm a physiotherapist and a life coach. Pleased to meet you. May I know you? And by the time they say what they do, I am this, this, and that, you find another opportunity. And that is my third secret. Find an IOP and a POC. What do I mean? Develop immediate interest in the other party. And POC, find a point of contact. What I mean, a connection point. So, if someone says to me, I am Emeka Nabike, I am from Enugu State, I can readily say to the person, oh wow, I grew up in Enugu State. What part of Enugu? I grew up in Abapa. What part of Enugu are you from? Immediately, we can establish a bond. Can you see? I have shared 3 things already, and I want you to go ahead and try this out. There's definitely no way you won't get similar results. Thank you very much. I look forward to your networking success. Now, this speech, remember, I cooked it up right now. I made it up right now, right? You can obviously do something better. But I was trying to show you something that I did. Okay? And that is counting. Number one, secondly, and number 3. You see? And as I was doing that, I was using my hand. Number 1, secondly, and number 3. That's one of the ways to use your hand when it comes to gesturing. Okay? Now, the next one is, apart from counting, so you're telling people, you're talking to people, and all of a sudden you get to a point that you need to mention numbers. So 1 is that this. 2 is that, 3 is that, 4, and then finally 5. Now you can use your hands to gesticulate, right? Your gesticulations can signal a lot of things. When you use open palm posture, it tells that you are powerful, that you can feel your inner power and you are enjoying your presentation. When you close your body, that's timidity. That's a primitive protective response. You don't want to do this, right? Now, you want to use your hand to gesticulate. Remember, there is a frame. Now, let me stand in between this whiteboard, right? You see this frame from here to here and down? This is the frame of my gesture, this way. Okay, so this frame, you don't want to be gesticulating and then your arms are just cut out this way, caught in the air like this, right? You don't want to be gesticulating and then you're now passing your neck to come and, sometimes it may be necessary, not all the time. Rarely do you have to pass your neck when you are explaining something, except you are trying to say you are reaching for something, you try to grab something from somewhere, or you are trying to say that you waved goodbye. Someone called you and you waved at him, and by the time you waved, he had gone. Something like that. You're demonstrating. Occasionally, you may need to go above that field. But most of the speaking, in fact, in your speech, 80 to 85 or 90% of your hand gestures will be around this frame. So just imagine that there's a ball around you. So use your hand and draw a ball. I want you to try this exercise when you are alone, right? You can do it with me. You can just imagine that there's a ball around here. You're creating a ball with your hands, right? If you put your hand at your hip, both of them, this way, right? You can go this way and this way, and this way. That is the region that your hands are expected to move. You can do this exercise by yourself, as if you're swimming in air. Okay, you get used to expressing yourself within this movement field. Good. Now we'll talk about the next one. Posture and stance. Remember to chest out. Don't slouch when you are speaking. It tells people that you're not confident or you don't know what you're talking about. Don't slouch when you are speaking. Chest out and chin up. What do I mean by chin up? This is way better. If you are in settings where you are in a raised platform and your audience, they are lower, it may make some sense to put your head forward because you need to look at them. But in most cases, you are either on a level place or your audience are, seated in arrangement where your field of view is lower than their own position. So please chest out and chin up. Okay, chest out and chin up. It makes you appear more confident. It makes you appear stronger. It makes you appear lively. When you go like this, it's as if you're battling depression and you are just there to encourage yourself, or because they say you should come, or because they will pay you, and then you just go like this. So today we are going to be talking about whatever. This is also a mistake some people make. They just go introduce their topic and they grab a pen, grab marker and rush to the board to come and dictate notes, or they grab their slides and start reading. I've already addressed all those things. So let's move. Chest out, chin up, balance, and don't cross your arms. Don't cross your arms. This is appearing again. Don't cross your arms while speaking. Your feet should be shoulder width apart. You should spread your feet a little bit while you are standing on stage, right? And if you stand in one place for too long, it's going to start getting awkward. Okay? So you want to be pacing the room. Use your stage well. your height, even if you don't want to move, your height, use your height and draw a circle around you. That is your stage zone. That's for you to move around right there. A great speaker will not just stick to that. A great speaker will come out, break out from that circle and go to the audience, touch some people, engage some people, ask questions, give high fives or handshakes. That's a very powerful secret right there. Very powerful. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to be doing. Move around. When you move around, people will not notice your stand. You won't notice. If you stand in one place, your legs can start shaking. Okay, now pace gradually. Okay, so you see, I'm talking and I can go back and forth. So while I'm talking about all these things, I can tell you, you're just imagining. Now, there's a smaller circle around you that, particularly if you're talking to a small group of people, you can hover around that small circle, right? Or you are walking around and you are turning, you face these people, right? I wish you could see my face. So you face these ones and then you turn. And while you speak to these people for a while, you give eye contact, you share eye contact with them. You move 1, 2 to the center. So why am I saying this? All these I have listed are very important. Oh God. Okay, I hope this is back. It can be really painful when somebody interrupts. Okay, so my apologies. My apologies. Someone has been calling the living daylight out of me. So let me quickly attend. Let's take this as a break. Okay, once we come back, it's just 3 minutes, and we're done. I will demonstrate the stance. Yes, the stance and positioning, stage usage. Then we'll go to the last one. So I would want to, get your feedback. I would really love to get your feedback for this session so far. I would love to get your feedback. Okay. So do well to share your experience so far in this journey. Do well to share your experience. I can say for a fact that if this is what I teach you about public speaking, I've done a lot of work. This is the most concise resource you will ever find on body language psychology. I can tell you the truth. I've gone through programs, I've gone through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos to get here. A lot of things that I share with you, they're not make up stories. I didn't make them up. I trained, I paid. I paid to get the information. I paid and I paid well. Committed months of learning to some of these things, and I'm sharing them with you. So, just for you to know that this is really, really good information. Really good information. So I was talking about using the stage. I was talking about using the stage, and this is the example I was giving. So let's say that I'm giving a talk to a group of people. Life is a journey, not a one-time destination. One of the things that I want to help people understand, you may not always get it in one sitting. Sometimes you may need to go over your vision again. Sometimes you may need to try something new. Sometimes you may actually need to quit. Yes, it could be a job or a relationship or something that is just not working for your good. People usually think that clarity is a one time destination, but I hope to make them understand it will not always come as easily as you think. That you would finally have one thing, just one thing that your heart yearns after. But there's always something that can determine who you truly are. There's always something that we can view like a bowl of abilities, and out of that bowl proceeds every good thing that comes out from your life. And that thing is what I choose to call your identity, or rather, your core. So, you see what I did using my hand gestures, open palm postures. What did I call this one? Steepling, right? This. And then eye contact. You look at a certain portion of the audience, you give them eye contact, you turn, give eye contact, you move like this, give eye contact. So, and I'm using my stage well, I'm pivoting, I'm pivoting. Some people, this is what they do. So while they are speaking, they are going, I've seen that before, you know. Because they say you should be moving or using your stage, doesn't mean you should be moving up and down like pendulum. No, it's not. So while we were talking, I realized that I've not given the person enough attention, and that was how I no. Be intentional at it. Take it bit by bit. You can pivot and shift your body weight to one leg at a time. You see, it's public speaking is more like you are dancing. You are being yourself. So you pivot and you go. So one of the things that I love to tell people, when you do that, one foot just bend slightly. I wish I could show my legs while doing this, but all the same, when you practice, you get used to it. So one of the things I love to explain to people is that your association determines your achievement in life. And even if you don't believe this, you only need to watch your life, and you will find out that you are a product of the sum total of the 5 friends you hang out with. Now, I've pivoted my body weight to my hip, to the left hip. And then as I start talking again, I can move and pivot to the left hip and stand. So this still gives that illusion of movement. Okay? Gives that illusion of movement. I don't even have to leave the spot. I can stand in one place, but simply because I pivot when I talk, it gives people the impression that this guy understands how to use his stage. No matter how small the stage is, do not stay in one place as if you were planted there. Use your stage. Okay? Now, talked about everything here. The next one is how you appear. This is equally important, how you appear. Some people don't care about what they wear to an event, what they wear to an occasion, if they're going to speak. They don't care about their shoes, about their jewelries, so many things, right? But I'll tell you something here, right? Look at this and you're going to see. Yes. Let me come closer to me. Okay, so look at this and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, this is enough, right? Good. Now, the way you appear matters. Remember, we have talked about face, facial expression, and everything happening in your face, including smile, eye contact, your hands. What should you do with your hands? We've answered that question. Posture and stance, we've answered that. We've talked about that extensively. How should you appear? Very important, very necessary. Dress well, dress well, dress well. This cannot be over or underemphasized. Dress well, please dress well. Dress well to the occasion. It won't be funny that you come to speak and then people are looking at you and they're probably seeing a broke noisemaker just because of the way you dressed. But trust me, let me say this quickly. Um, you don't have to look. You don't have to be expensive to dress well. I don't know how to explain this to you so that you understand it. You don't really need to be expensive. You don't need to spend so much money. Even if you are broke now, it is not your future. Even if you are broke and you're invited to speak, you don't have to look like what you are going through. Go to the market, enter the market. Go to where they sell very cheap clothes. You should find cheap clothes that look good. Bring them, get them to your house, iron them well, apply cologne, apply good perfume. It doesn't even have to be expensive one. Something that will make you smell nice, or body spray or deodorant. You know why? These things affect your confidence. And there's some, as a speaker, your I'm looking for the word, it's running away. But your manifestation doesn't end on stage. After the speaking, what happens? How do you connect? How do people approach you? How do you respond to those who approach you? How do you connect with even the other speakers that are at the event? Right? So it will make sense that you have come for the event, you've spoken, they love your speech, but people cannot now come close to you because because the atmosphere changes when they come close to you. No. So, and your mind will be there. See, if you sweat and that sweat now makes you smelly somehow because of the clothes you're wearing. There's some clothes that when you wear them and you sweat, it just makes you smell instantly. I don't know how it happens. You may have experienced it. You must have experienced it. Yes, you can admit it. Nobody is hearing you. It makes you can feel, you can perceive yourself, your own self. Okay. So please, if you're going to speak, know the kind of clothing that you're wearing, right? And apply cologne, apply perfume, apply deodorant, body sprays, you know, whichever one will protect you the most, apply so that it will not affect your confidence. There's a way your body will be. If you go for an event, after speaking, you run away because you don't want people to approach you. You don't want them to be saying, that speaker, they speak, but they smell. That speaker can speak, but he stinks. Next thing you are trending on Twitter, trust this generation. So please, what you wear is important. Dress the part. Dress the part. If you're going for a business meeting, you want to appear in something more professional. You're going to speak to a group of students. You may want to dress like them. You may want to dress yoppy. You can even put on a t-shirt and a shorts, a pair of shorts, right? And maybe canvas. If you want to go and speak to market people, you want to dress like them. You want to speak to, just try and look the part. Now, if you're going for professional events, please tilt towards black and blue. Sometimes brown, but brown really doesn't have so much honor attached to it. Brown signifies poverty or lowliness or humility most of the time, right? Black is more executive and official. You can never go wrong with black. I never go wrong with black, you know, except it's meant to be a colorful event. You can't go wrong with black. You can't go wrong with navy blue, right? You don't want something so shouty like red. You don't want to wear red to go and speak. This is relative, depending on your choice. Maybe you love the color red, it's your best color, and you've never. That's fine. Not all these things. They are not worth. How do I put it now? They can't take away the value from your speech. Okay, you can still do an amazing speech, but then you don't want to draw attention with something that is strange or odd or weird. So you don't want to go for an event with red hair. You're going to speak with pastors. It's a pastors conference and you are speaking. You now want to wear red hair. Some of them, I can assure you, maybe half of the hall will never listen to you. They won't, everything you are saying, trash. What's this red-haired, Jezebelic woman coming here to say? Understand the context of the environment you are in. Very powerful. Okay? You want to speak with youths and you wear a ru and buba. Gen Z and Gen Alpha. No. So you have to be able to connect to your audience from what you're wearing. Now, hair and nails. Hair, don't use distracting nails. Don't put on, distracting nails. I already talked about hair. Next one is brush. I talked about smelling nice. Then the next one is brush. Please, please. It's part of body language. Very, very key. You should brush well before getting on stage. Brush well, brush well. Brush your tongue, get something minty. Maybe Tom Tom, you know, chewing gum, mint flavored chewing gum, so that when you are done speaking on stage and you come out, to engage with people will not be hard. Oh, sir, can I get your number? Oh, sure. You don't want that kind of experience. Someone is coming to, sir, please, can I get your number? And you did, oh, sure. And they are like, hey, thank you, sir. Thank you. And they will not go and start gossiping. And this man, mouth they smell. This man's mouth can smell it. Okay? So brush well, brush your tongue. It's not as if these hygiene practices are things you don't know. But if you are speaking, you have to intentionally put your eyes into them. Intentionally. Okay? So that you can have a great speech. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this particular training session, and I really hope that you got value. I know you got value. I want to hear how much this class has been of help to you. This particular session, you would go places if you understand everything I said today. You will go places, you will speak, and people will marvel. They'll be like, who is this? Who is this? We want him again. We want him to come back. We want it. That's how it's going to be, because you understand these things. Okay? So tell me what you've learned so far. Put them down in the comments. Tell me what you've learned so far. I can see everyone who joined in. This video is going to be uploaded as a course. Okay, it's going to be uploaded as part of a course. Probably on any platform that I upload it. Fantastic. So yes, to those who are here watching this one live, well done, well done. I can see you, the intentional teacher, Ifesie Amarachi, Rita, maybe Eneka. Yes, the intentional teacher. Tara Daniel, well done. Emeka Precious, Emmanuel Oladijo, I was seeing your comments and I was really amazed. I was really, really, will I say amazed? I was grateful. Yeah, I was grateful. Well done. Well done, Emmanuel Oladijo. Simple, energetic, simple, engaging, and action stirring. Amazing. Amazing. Well done. Well done. So, see you all in the coaching group, for the Sage on Stage mentorship. Okay, so if you're not there and you want to join, you can reach out to me and we'll continue. I'll send you all the previous videos. We'll continue. The next phase is going to be really exciting. The next phase is for practical. The next series of trainings we've done a lot, we've gone through a lot. So the series of sessions we will be having you on stage. I won't be talking. So we are going to practical now. We've done everything that we need. In fact, with what you know now, you're a great speaker. Okay, I want that speaking to manifest. We're going to be having live sessions and everyone will be taking turns speaking. You will not stop till you get it right. I will be monitoring. I will be here with my Thor's hammer to fight anyone who is not coming live to share, to speak, and all that. So get ready for it. If you are in the paid training, you are on the right track. I can assure you, you cannot be compared with any other speaker in the world after this training. You are not allowed to be compared. You're not allowed. You are not allowed. So you are already prepared. You are already prepared. Dangerously prepared. Dangerously ready. So go ahead and do amazing stuff. I would love to hear that you went to somewhere to speak, and after speaking, they grabbed you and say, "Don't go. We want you back. We want you back." That kind of thing. It's going to happen. So yes, do have an amazing day. Bye. Don't forget to send your testimonial, send your message. I'd love to see that. I would really, really love to see that. If you want to create a video, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fantastic. Create a video and send. Okay. So remember the assignment I gave about the facial expression, facial expressions, facial expressions. The assignment must be done and submitted before within the next 48 hours. So 2 days. So I'm expecting it by Saturday. Good. So do have an amazing rest, everybody. Uh, cheers to your speaking success. Bye.